I moved here from Chicago in 1991. I was pregnant with my second daughter and needed a preschool. My dad suggested, well, is there a JCC? And I said, there's a little kind of JCC at Har Hashem. And he said, well, go there. You know, I felt at home when I first took Jessie, and I felt at home when I took Anna, 12 years later.
I moved to Boulder in late 2006 and enrolled my daughter Katie in the JCC preschool. I had a hard time finding my people. I had long talks with my mom on the phone, and my mom said something to me that really stuck with me, which was, if the community that you want isn't there, build it.
When Susan Rona came into my office, she asked what she could do to help, and I thought, we just hit the mother lode.
There had been talk of this dream of a new JCC.
Boulder does have a fast-growing Jewish community, but because it doesn't have a deep, old Jewish community, it's important to have a way to bring this community together.
The people who got together to create the Boulder Jewish Community Foundation went out searching for the perfect site in Boulder County and identified the land where the Boulder JCC actually sits today.
We had just formed the Weaver Family Foundation, and there was sufficient assets in the foundation to buy the land. Took the very long-term view of saying this is a significant and a very good investment for the Jewish community of Boulder. No way did we think it was going to take 16 years. As this project was just getting started, we had to search for a new executive director. We found Jonathan, who was amazing. He brought energy, enthusiasm, and really contributed to making this project a reality.
I remember when I was being hired and I was told about this project, I was always cautiously optimistic. But then I actually met the people, and I knew that this was going to happen.
My major involvement started when we were asked to co-chair the building committee. We were absolutely flattered, and our first thought was, no way. But then we realized we had to do it, and we wanted to do it.
My father was very involved in fundraising for what's now the Metro West JCC. So when I saw that we needed one here, it was a natural to get involved the same way my dad had.
We really didn't know what we were in for. And we're sitting there with Jack Kindy and this woman, Susan Rona, who we'd never met before.
I think Susan invited herself to that meeting, and she came in like a little tornado.
I remember walking out and saying to each other, wow, I have no idea if this is a good idea or not, but these people are seriously enthusiastic. Like, they really want this to happen.
We left the meeting thinking, you know what? We're definitely going to do it now, because this crazy woman's involved.
Kellie's aesthetic is in this building. Kellie's heart's in this building. Working with her every day was a gift. I clean my house differently now because I worked with Kellie.
The building committee was an amazing group of people, and Harris Faberman was always great for starting with a joke.
And then we'd talk about whatever issue we were supposed to talk about, and then we'd really end up spending the entire meeting talking about whatever the crisis of the week was.
The application with the city was a little out of control, and Scott was fantastic with that. You know, he really took the lead on working with the city in combination with Harris, and because at the time it was like, oh my God, you know, here's another $1 million we hadn't accounted for.
There were a lot of moments where I thought, are you kidding me? You know, like that can't have really just happened.
There have been so many moments where we have questioned how we were going to get to the next step. And it was like, whether it was fundraising, whether it was the city process, whether it was the design process, whether it was, do we have enough volunteers to be able to make this happen? And every single time, we always persevered.
I mean, we had so many people in the game that someone always came up with a solution, no matter how big the problem was.
I mean, the best story for sure is Susan Rona trying to get the plat filed.
It had to be recorded on a certain date to get bank financing for us to break ground, stay on schedule, not lose our contractors, and the signatures wouldn't stay affixed to the Mylar, which led me on a massive goose chase all around Boulder trying to find the Mylar. Once it was found, I was told I needed to put a fixative on the Mylar, but if it got ruined, the city wouldn't accept it.
Susan Rona all of a sudden texts me and says, they're not accepting the plat. And I'm like, what's the plat?
So Susan and I literally picked it up at the city, went to the art store and stood outside on the sidewalk with this guy spraying a piece of Mylar with a fixant so that it would not smear because the city had rejected this plat.
And she calls him back, okay, I'm on the hill and I'm spraying the plat, I'm on the sidewalk and it's freezing out here and what do I do?
Susan personally walked the 24 by 36 inch piece of Mylar around every city office, and she made that work.
When I walk into this building, I have an immense sense of pride, and I feel home.
I walk in and there's common ground and there's an immediate comfort level and safety level.
What I think people get out of the JCC is love. It feels like a family.
And be able to walk in through the parking lot, the green lawns around this place, into that courtyard. It's truly amazing for me.
Every time I drive by, I look at the building and it just warms my heart.
It's almost indescribable, the way I felt when I first walked in.
You feel the energy and passion and love that's there. Kids on benches, people talking in the lobby, camps happening.
I love seeing all the community being built here. This is really what gets me out of bed every morning, and it's happening in this beautiful building.
The 4 people we're honoring tonight are truly representative of the reason why this building got built. Without them, without their heart, without their passion, without their commitment of time and money, this would never have happened.
Working with Butch on the board, I see him sink his teeth right into things and not let go until it's done, and that's what this JCC is.
Butch is an incredible thinker. He's an incredible mind, and he's an incredible engineer, and he brings that type of thinking to every way that he looks at things.
Whatever it was, you knew that when Butch looked at it, he was really, really looking at it in a way that no one else could.
Susan Rona is one of the fiercest volunteers I've ever met.
Susan is like the Tasmanian devil with a massive heart.
You talk about herding cats, getting this board to work together to get the questions answered, to make things happen. Susan was there.
Scott's one of the most dynamically creative people I've literally ever met in my life.
Scott was really instrumental in keeping me sane. He must have said calm down to me probably 5,000 times. I think he probably said it to all of us like 5,000 times.
Through all of our panic attacks about whether or not this project could happen, Scott was always there carrying the flag, telling us we could do it.
You know, a lot of people have asked me why I got so involved with this. And the first answer was always Kellie. I wanted to do it for and with Kellie.
She has a gift of really being able to look at a big picture and say, this is how it's supposed to be.
She knows how to get stuff done. And she's like, we're gonna make this happen, and we're gonna make it happen now, and let's do X, Y, and Z, and boom, it's done.
The idea that anything is possible is crucial for this group. And Scott and Kellie really provided anything is possible.
I want to offer my congratulations to Susan and Kellie and Scott and Butch. You so deserve this honor and tribute, because without you guys, this wouldn't have happened.
There are people who have been doing this for 25 years, working on this project, and I'm proud of all of us. I just feel like we accomplished something that was amazing.
I didn't know any of these people when this started, and now I love all these people.
It's been every community leader that's helped, it's every volunteer that's given of their time, and every community member who gave whatever they could afford just to show they believed in this project.
The project to get to this JCC has taken over 20 years in Boulder. The number of people that have been involved and their enthusiasm has been amazing. Thank you to you all.